Everybody. My name is Jim O'Toole. I'm the CEO of Iascaigh, Ireland's Seafood Development Agency, and I'm delighted to have the privilege of introducing you to the Irish section of seaweed around the clock. To begin with, I just want to share with you an overview of the seaweed sector in Ireland. And Ireland has, we believe, one of Europe's most active seaweed industries, and it stems from a very long tradition of use. We're an island nation on the eastern edge of the Atlantic with a coastline that extends to more than 3,000 kilometres, along which is an abundance of naturally growing seaweed. And for this reason, seaweed has been part of our coastal community's tradition for many years, both as a food directly and indirectly. On the west coast of Ireland, where much of the wild seaweed grows and is found in abundance, it has been for centuries used as a fertilizer for vegetables that are grown to nourish our ancestors. It has also been burnt in what were called kelp kilns, which helped to produce a variety of products ranging from soaps to glass. And even today, many of our coastal landowners have traditional seaweed harvesting rights that extend to before the foundation of our state. While seaweed harvesting in Ireland has a rich and long tradition, I'd like to focus a little bit more on the industry as it is today. And we believe it's a dynamic one that contributes more than 80 million euros to our economy and also has some 60 processors dotted around our coastline that are important contributors to those economies. And Irish seaweed in a variety of forms is exported to more than 35 different countries around the globe. The main species that our industry harvests from the wild source is Iascaigh, and last year there was some 35,000 tonnes of that harvested by hand. We have also currently 25 licensed aquaculture sites, and we envisage that growing significantly as we increase our hatchery capacity. There are multiple uses for seaweed from the traditional uses that I described earlier. And now it is used as a biostimulant, as a source of animal nutrition, both for agricultural livestock, for aquaculture and for pets, but also used in the pharma industry, in cosmetics, in nutrition and plant-based foods. We're lucky in Ireland in that we have a thriving research and development community that is helping to develop and advance the seaweed sector. And we reckon that over the past decade, there have been some 35 different research projects into seaweed, and that combined, there has been more than 13 million euros invested in this activity. We're fortunate, we believe, to have significant technical expertise in product development. And as a country that is very much export focused, we believe that we have the knowledge and the know-how to try and develop those opportunities for a variety of products, both here in the European Union and beyond. And it's something that we in Iascaigh try and help our industry to develop so they can avail of those opportunities. We believe also that the policy environment is favourable to the development of the seaweed industry, and the EU Commission has lent its support to the development of seaweed farming and the advancement of the industry. The Commission's Farm to Food strategy makes specific reference to algae becoming an important source of alternative protein for sustainable food systems and global food security. And of course, now more than ever, those are becoming increasingly important. This gives us an impetus in DIN to work with other member states and to be part of the EU for Algae initiative, which aimed to accelerate the scale-up of a regenerative, resilient, fair and climate-friendly algae industry, as well as bringing more novel species into the marketplace over the next decade. We have been helping the advancement of the industry through collaboration with players across the supply chain here in Ireland, but also across Europe. And we work with everybody in the supply chain, be it farmers, researchers, technologists and investors. We are continuously striving to help to develop better practices for grower techniques and to explore new synergies, particularly around co-location And indeed, we work with the Marine Institute in the development of integrated multi-trophic aquaculture, where we farm salmon, seaweed, and mussels together. And also, we see significant opportunity in that regard as the offshore renewable energy ramps up as part of Ireland's climate action plan, where we hope to have 80% of our electricity being generated from renewable sources. We operate a seaweed development program in BIM, which aims to support existing and new entrants into our sector and to help them develop hatchery techniques, suitable grow-out systems, and husbandry techniques. And as I mentioned earlier, we see that the current 250 plus hectares of aquaculture license for seaweed being added by a further over 500 hectares that are coming on stream. And this will be significant in helping to develop the industry. The program that we run help to assist the industry, and we can see that if we realize the potential that is there, there is an opportunity to increase the aquaculture production from seaweed to the farmed seaweed sector, producing some 10,000 tonnes in the coming years, primarily from Alaria and Saccharina, but also from Palmaria palmata, which is traditionally in Ireland known as dillis, and was used as a traditional medicinal product, but now, of course, is an ingredient for food and cosmetics, as well as the development of Porphyra umbilicalis, which has a potential for the food industry also. We are supporting the development of seaweed hatcheries and to help the sector to farm and to grow out seaweed, but we also are very much conscious of the need to develop a biorefinery so that we can maximize the potential for processing seaweed further. Seaweed, of course, is an exemplar of sustainable food production, and that fits very much with not only BIM's strategy, but also the focus of our whole food and agriculture industry. And by absorbing nutrients, by sequestering carbon, by not requiring feeding and having very little intervention, it is an ideal source of sustainable protein and other ingredients. So while I spoke at the outset about the long tradition of seaweed production in Ireland, I think we're looking forward to a very bright future for significant development of the seaweed sector, and that's something that BIM that we want to work with the industry, and we will hear in the following presentations from my colleagues around Ireland of the exciting developments that are taking place in producing this truly sustainable product, both from an economic, environmental and social point of view. So thank you very much, and I'll hand you over to our next speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jim. My name is Maeve Edwards. I'm not the next speaker, but I am the moderator for this very busy hour. And I'm just simply here to introduce some wonderful speakers from all around the coast, or all around the country, sorry. And first of all, we go to Cork, and we are going to talk to Priya Pollard from Bantry Marine Research Station.
Hello, everyone. My name is Priya Pollard, and hopefully we can get this on the full screen. Excellent. I am from the Bantry Marine Research Station, and we are a research facility based at the south of Ireland. On the right, you can see our wonderful little facility. It's quite a remote location, and I'm very fond of it. We have different hatcheries and on-growing sites. We have 2 seaweed sites licensed by BIM right now. One is in Bantry Bay, and the other one is in Teoranta. The seaweed hatchery is in conjunction with Carlton Point Shellfish and BIM, as mentioned before. And some of our research in the past are laid out here, and I will talk a little bit more about them. So some projects that we've completed are mob fuel, where we looked at marine algae in terms of producing biodiesel, and that's where we identify the best species for doing this. Sea bioclass is where we wanted to see if we could encourage the seaweed to produce more sugar or more proteins in a certain way. And this was successfully done. Also, we're also looking at integrated multi-trophic aquaculture with a dream, again, another completed project. And we also wanted to see how marine bacteria affected photosynthesis in the marine plants with Iascaigh. And now on to the current projects. This one is a bit of my favorite since I am currently recruited as an early stage researcher on this project. It's in conjunction with the University College Dublin, and I am investigating finding a novel preservation technique for seaweed. And I'm focusing on ensiling. The drying costs associated with seaweed are phenomenal. And they also contribute a lot of greenhouse gas emissions. So my project is trying to cut down on these greenhouse gas emissions and reduce the dependency on fossil fuels for this. And it's all going to be done with a biorefinery perspective in terms of bioextraction and biostimulants. There's also the Farm for More project right now, and it's an EU LIFE program, also with UCD, and it investigates the uses of ensiled seaweed, because it's very nice to develop a novel project, but if you cannot find uses for this novel thing, then it's not very useful. Doing aquatech for feed, where we are using seaweed as an additive into fish feed to make it more novel. This also has some duckweed and insects in there, and this is geared towards improving the fish production and the product quality in general. As mentioned before, IMTA is receiving a lot of interest in terms of aquaculture and seaweed production, and Eat Fish, another European funded project, is looking at growing these seaweeds in conjunction with salmon, sea urchins, and lumpfish. And this is happening close to our Bantry Bay site. Now on to my favorite project. This one is in conjunction with BIM once again, and this species focuses on Asparagopsis armata. This started in 2018 and it's still ongoing. And this focuses on the high greenhouse gas emissions that it contributes. It's about 33% of all the greenhouse gas emissions produced by Ireland. One of the first things this project did was screen and select all the different native Irish seaweeds to identify the best candidates for this. And the species was narrowed down based on their anti-methanogenic properties. So this was screened every month for an entire year at different locations to make sure we got everything covered, and Asparagopsis armata was chosen. It's been proven that if 1% of this seaweed is added to the diet of ruminants, it can reduce methane emissions by up to 98%. One of the first things we had to do when doing this is to close the life cycle of this species.
Priya.
We successfully did this. Yes, this is my last slide. And our growth trials began in 2020. And we can now successfully culture them because the life cycle has been closed. And we're also doing, in conjunction with BIM, another hatchery and we are going to do a 3-month report coming up soon. And I believe that is all for me.
Thank you very much, Priya. That's a bit of a whirlwind through all the research you're doing down there. That's brilliant. So thank you very much. And please contact Priya if any of the audience is interested, because there's lots to discuss there. Moving very quickly on, but only across the bay, actually, we're going to Michael O'Neill in Pure Ocean Algae. So Michael, if you have your slides ready there, that'd be great. Michael, you're on mute, by the way.
Yeah, turn my microphone on.
You might need to share your screen again.
Am I sharing?
Not yet. It might be a little slow. No.
Could be slow. Are we there?
We are there.
Excellent. Okay. So my name is Michael O'Neill and I'm the CEO of Pure Ocean Algae. Pure Ocean Algae is an aquaculture-based biotechnology company utilising cultivated seaweed, predominantly Palmyra palmata, as primary biomass. We have a 20,000 square foot hatchery facility. We have a newly adapted 6,000 square foot pilot drying and milling production plant. We have 40 hectares of sea farm owned, and we're working closely with 2 other farmers for a further 45 hectares of sea site for the 2023 harvest season. Most importantly, we've closed the production cycle for sea-based production of Palmyra palmata. We've created a new innovative production methodology for nursery, hatchery, deployment, sea structure, and up to a commercial level production. We're about to commence the expansion of our hatchery and nursery facilities, and hopefully over the next 12 months, we've successfully closed a 1.5 million seed round and are preparing hopefully to launch a Series A round in the next 12 months. So when we started back in 2018, we identified, I suppose, the various markets. We started with the markets and it came down to kelp dulse. And we went with kelp, dulse. It soon became apparent that what we were trying to achieve was a little bit more difficult than we expected. But after 3 years of research and development, we've summited the various obstacles. After 3 years of research, we're finally at a point whereby we're ready to implement the circular land and seed-based cultivation of dulse at a commercial scale. So again, the cultivation model here was very important. One of the main innovations in our ability is our ability to manipulate Palmyra palmata at scale. We first had to become very familiar with the natural production process. We quickly realized that Palmyra would require significant intervention. We then developed a secondary circular methodology, which allows us to basically, we go from a 6-month linear to a 12-month circular process. Again, results in improved sporalization, improved settlement, and increased spore utilization. And ultimately, we can use this process to drive tank-based vegetative production. And I suppose the main upside there, the main benefit is that we can increase protein levels to approximately 40%. And again, this is the foundation of our business model. Business model is quite straightforward. We produce cultivation material for both kelp and dulse, and we supply to the various farmers under a supply agreement, and we buy back the full grown material for primary and secondary processing. Research and development has been key to our success to date. In 2019, we formed the Biodulse Consortium with the primary objectives of developing the commercialized production process for Palmyra palmata. Secondly, to derive an extraction process which required the targeting of certain protein fractions found in Palmyra palmata, and that can be used to create a natural management tool for type 2 diabetes. Along with our partners, the University of Limerick and the Carberry Group, we've reached a point whereby we hope to start our human trials in September this year.
Michael, just to give you a quick heads up.
The future, less slides. So our intention is to increase our total production to 200 hectares by 2023, a mixture of dulse and kelp. We're increasing our processing capacities, drying, primary processing and pilot scale biorefinery. We're increasing our hatchery capacity to 1 million linear meters of alaria or saccharina and 500,000 linear meters of material for Palmyra palmata. Again, we're involved in other projects such as biorefinery projects. We're looking at land-based finfish, working with those companies, operating with offshore wind. Again, we're working with BIM, the development of seaweed-based products utilising our sea bacon ingredient. And lastly, I suppose we're back to our funding round, and we will continue, I suppose, our Series A discussions and hopefully get closed within 12 months. Thanks very much. It's a very brief overview of what we do. Anyone that would be looking for any further information, feel free to contact me at the below email address. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michael. I feel mean rushing everybody along here. But we travel now to Islander Kelp, and we are going to speak to or listen to Kate Burns. Kate, you have the...
Hello, good afternoon. Yes, I'm just getting my screen share up here. Hold on. There we go. Can you see that okay?
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah. So right at the other end of the country of Ireland from Cork, right up at the northeast corner, we're a small enterprise farming kelp since 2015. And because we're on an island of 150 people, the rationale for our enterprise is really quite different from your other presentations. And with wonderful seas here for kelp production. We're in a marine nature reserve. And the family were in fishing, so there's a diversification project. The real ethos, the intention around setting up Islander Kelp was to demonstrate that marine innovation also belongs to local remote coastal communities, and that to try and demonstrate that kelp farming and kelp processing could be a viable enterprise that would create employment in Rathlin. And that's what we've done. Not been easy. We don't have a BIM up here. We've actually really got nobody who looks after us at all. And I always appreciate BIM coming in with help when we look for it. So there's a little picture of Rathlin, and you can see we're one of the most tidal places in Ireland, very active sea conditions. And that's great in terms of low levels of biofoul. And like the Faroes, we take 3-4 harvests a year off our ropes. And can also keep mature kelp on the ropes all winter long for processing. But I have put up this circle of activities because when we set out to do what we did, we were one of the first out of the blocks, and so we had to do it all. We had to do the license application. We had to work out what we needed location wise. We had to train people up on how to grow it. We had to explore and work out infrastructure. So, and then of course we had to have the entrepreneurial drive, if you like, or foolishness, whatever you want to call it, and of course the capacity to work at sea. And I put right in the middle of that the market. I didn't know much about the market. I'm not great at marketing, but the one thing I knew was that getting a market for us, because we weren't going into the R&D world, getting a market for us was essential. And I suppose one of the questions is should there be vertical integration for businesses like ours? We had to be vertically integrated, so we have our own kelp nursery, our own kelp lab. We're very successful now in cultivating seeded lines, and we've been selling them to a number of buyers, and we're probably going to expand that end of the enterprise. But actually, to do all of that, to cultivate, to grow, to process, and you can see the picture of our kelp noodles there, and then actually to get out into the market and sell, requires a huge amount of different skill sets. Time availability, and we have now farmed out some of the processing for our kelp tapenade and pestos and so on. We still make the noodles in-house. Our market, by the way, is all international. Germany, the Netherlands, Switzerland, and the south of Ireland, and thank goodness for the Northern Ireland Protocol. Team, and I did mention the community, and the community is everything. We don't bring in cheap labour to process. I aim to employ 12 months of the year and make these good jobs, a professional job for Islanders. Training Islanders up as lab technicians. The girl in the middle with the pink t-shirt, Sarah Barry, she's our kelp coordinator, cultivation coordinator. And, she has learned so much, and she is so capable and so able. So we do things island ways, and any Islanders out there would recognise this just in terms of how we pulled it together. But I will come back to the market. And we decided from day one that we needed a really high added value. And just, where we were coming from was we knew in Maine, where ocean approved, now Atlantic Sea Farms, that the price of their kelp noodles were $25 a kilo. And that was the global value. That was the global price. Very few people internationally producing kelp noodles, the genuine article. So that's where we set off to go from the beginning. And so, I know from farming, and we've bootstrapped this as best we can, that it's very difficult to farm kelp for less than about €1.80 a kilo. That's your cost. And that's probably underplaying what it actually is. So for us, great to see research. We need more research. We need more market. It's got to stack up. And I'm really not hearing the connection between the value of biorefined products, the value of more food products, and what it actually costs to farm it. And I know we should try and bring the cost down, but it's a strange industry where you try and pull the cost of something down to make a profit. I think, we've got to find really good special products. You're competing with China, and we're competing with Monsanto in Norway, who harvest hundreds of thousands of, coming to the end. So my ask again is help with marketing, helping getting out into the market, help with more processing, particularly in the food end of things, and that's been all our focus. So, investing also in models to scale up when you're like us, when you're in a small island. And just a big thanks to BIM and everybody else out there whose brilliance and research does help continue to inform what we do. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kate. Some very good points there towards the end, which we need to work on. Allan O'Sullivan from SeaMeGro is up next. A new company, I believe, but we'll hear all about him now. Kate, I think you have to stop sharing your screen. Yeah, that's it.
Sorry, guys, I'm struggling here with my.
Maeve, if you have those slides ready, that might support.
Sorry, I do have them. Yeah, I'll do it now.
Hi, guys. Allan O'Sullivan, MD and co-founder of BioBio. Trading name is SeaMeGro. So I guess our mission statement is we're linking land and sea, using green, clean, and chemical-free processing technology to develop our products. So if you want to continue on, Margaret. What I'd like to introduce in this slide is not just specifically my company, BioBio, but rather a cluster of companies coming together to share resources in terms of expertise, technology, equipment, resources, and that is Nutramara, Seafair, and ourselves, which is BioBio. Henry is up after me speaking about Nutramara, but basically we're a group of sister companies that operate together to add value to seaweed products. So if you want to continue on, Margaret. Again, as I said in the first slide, where our aim is to co-locate these three enterprises together to encompass the full supply chain and multi-value chains within a single biorefinery facility, shortening the supply chain, enabling facilities to use side streams, equipment sharing, closing the loop and unlocking the synergies, efficiencies, and accelerating the growth of and scaling of the 3 different companies. What I would say is Kate's point about markets is very valid. So, you know, I often see in this industry we have great scientists, biologists, we have guys that can grow seaweed at sea and harvest and do extraction process, etc. But ultimately, you have to go and sell the product, and you know, the marketing and branding that goes into selling added value products is just can't be underestimated. So, Marjorie, if you want to continue on. This slide really encompasses what we do as a company. So we use products. Products are produced using a cascading biorefinery model. As I said, all our processes are sustainable processing principles using chemical-free processes to produce our products. We also cultivate our own seaweed. We also have a network of harvesters. But on top of that, we don't see ourselves just stopping as being a seaweed-based company. We're also looking at fish and fish waste and other marine side streams, crustacean waste to produce chitin and chitosan products. We also produce our own bacteria, which we add to our various different products, again, to add value to them. So yeah, it's I think we have to be innovative and creative in what we do. So if you want to continue on, Marjorie. Just a quick slide showing our various different research partners, which is vital to a company like ours to build our data, to build our efficacy, our trials, and so on, and working with some very, very innovative agencies, including BIM. So, Marjorie. This is our product range for our retail offering. So we've identified the retail sector as a sector that we've concentrated on for the last 12 months and gotten good substantial growth there. But again, as I said, it has involved a huge deal of effort in terms of branding and marketing and creating new innovative products for that industry. But again, the principle would be all based, the pillar product is all based on seaweed. If you want to continue on. This slide for me is probably the most relevant to us here today, and it's a slide that I'm quite proud of really as a company. So it shows the UN Sustainability Development Goals and impacts. So out of the 17 sustainability goals, we take a significant amount of them. I think we take 12 of them there. So, you know, again, maybe to Kate's point in terms of operating in a community-based project where few and little other high-value jobs exist, would be a huge factor in our company and what we do. So, Marjorie, if you want to continue on. So I think I'm the first speaker that hasn't been asked to finish up. So I'm probably finishing a little bit ahead of time, but
yeah. Keep going.
Okay, good. As I said, all our products are green, clean, and chemical free. The seaweed that we process sequesters a large amount of carbon. We have our carbon footprint well and truly measured, and what we like to say in our offering to markets is that we're growing our way out of climate change. I think that's me.
Thank you very much, Allan. And I really like your SDG slide. I'd like to do that for our own company and copy you completely. The Evan Talty is up next, and he's in the middle of the Bloom Festival here in Dublin and in Ireland, and he's coming from Wild Irish Seaweeds.
Hi, thanks for having me. Yeah, as you can hear, it could be a bit noisy here, but I'm in the storeroom and while at the Bloom Festival here at Wild Irish Seaweeds HQ. So my own name is Evan Talty, and Wild Irish Seaweeds produced hand-harvested organic seaweeds for the edible seaweed market, pharmaceutical, nutraceutical, cosmeceutical market. It would be our main, I suppose, company target markets, and we would supply about 52 countries worldwide. We set up the business in 2009 on the west coast of Clare. There'd be long, over 100 years of a tradition of harvesting seaweeds from our ancestors, dating back to my great-grandfather on a horse and cart gathering seaweed and bringing it to markets for land. So it is quite a tradition in West Clare. So we had an abundance of harvesters when we started off looking for work, because of course, as some of the other speakers said, it's a real community project, and in the west of Ireland there isn't a lot of I suppose other jobs bar tourism. So we started off with just 2 products and supplying our local supermarkets and doing your traditional farmers markets and really grafting it out and seeing. Go back in 2009, it wasn't seaweed wasn't something that was really on the radar, but no more than I suppose everyone that's on here has seen over the last couple of years, seaweed has become really mainstream, and it's used from companies like Nestle and Coca-Cola right through to the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the world are introducing seaweed. So for us, I suppose we would have always had the ambition to be a global leader from
Evan, if you can hear us, your video has paused. No. Will we move on, Mybrit?
I think so. I think Evan has lost to Bloom.
Well, his connection has dropped, unfortunately. Well, that leads us on to go to stay actually in the west. We're going to hear from Nutramara, and Deirdre Iascaigh is going to talk to us, and that might put us back on a little bit of pick up a few minutes. Deirdre,
good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's a great pleasure to speak to you about Nutramara, our seaweed cosmetics. We're based here in Spidell in Connemara on the west coast of Ireland. And my background really, I'm a registered general nurse, and I worked in a dermatology unit and was always interested in different natural applications and seaweed treatments and anything that really healed the skin in a natural way. I then studied cosmetic science, and I'm a member of the Society for Cosmetic Scientists. My husband also did various courses in aquaculture with Iascaigh. So we knew we wanted to do something with seaweed. So this began our research and development in 2002. We undertook a 2-year R&D program where we looked at all uses for seaweed, and we knew it was a natural resource which was underutilized really in 2002. This journey took us to different countries throughout Europe, mainly France and Spain, where we built up a lot of contacts and looked at the seaweed industry and what types and species of seaweeds they were using. The cosmetic industry really stood out for us, as we knew the seaweed species were rich in vitamins, proteins, amino acids, minerals, antioxidants, trace minerals, polysaccharides. And we felt that these all were very beneficial to moisturize, hydrate, and protect the skin. The particular seaweed species that we focused on was Fucus serratus, Fucus vesiculosus, Chondrus crispus, Dillisc, Laminara digitata, Ascophyllum nodosum, and we wanted to hand harvest them on the west coast of Ireland and the pristine waters around Connemara and the Aran Islands. So the Nutramara skincare range, it was then launched in 2004, a unique Irish made product using all the hand harvested seaweed. And this is one of our facial products. We have different products: facial serum, face cream, oil, face mask, body lotion, body cream, shower gels, and foaming bath, all containing organic hand harvested seaweed and complemented with different natural botanical extracts like aloe vera, avocado, shea butter, with no harsh chemicals in the products at all. We now have developed 2 further skincare ranges: the Irish Organics Natural Cosmetics. This range is all certified organic ingredients. It's mainly for the export market, but seaweed is still the main ingredient in the product. And we have a Nutramara range, which we make for Algae, and it's sold throughout all their stores here in Ireland. Market entry, then, we supply health stores, pharmacies throughout Ireland. We also export to UK, Germany, the Netherlands, and we have established a broker in the USA. Initially, we were only selling into Irish stores, and we're now branching out into the more mainstream general stores in America. I suppose the website was really, really important to us. We have updated it over the years, the to provide extensive information. Customers, they want to know the product provenance, they want to know where the seaweed is harvested, the green footprint of the business. This is really important. So all that information has to be supplied. You know, the customers are very savvy and they want to know this information. We also attend a lot of trade shows worldwide, really, but we attend over 30 trade shows here in Ireland as well. And this helps us to meet distributors, to build the customer base and to build the brand as well, which is really important, you know, to get the message out there. And this past 2 years has been challenging with the pandemic. We did see website sales rising. Obviously, a lot of our pharmacies was closed. A lot of our sales channels was actually closed, but a lot of people were purchasing online, particularly the products like at-home spa products. Our Fucus serratus seaweed bath did very well, and Ascophyllum face mask, because people were locked at home and they wanted to use natural products and they wanted to use relaxing products. So this was a really good opportunity for us. So we began a digital transformation. Now, what we did was to improve our social media channels to help sales. So we improved our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We sent out posts, I suppose, given the benefits of the seaweed and the brand and the natural ingredients in the brand. It's really important for us to get the message across about seaweed and how beneficial it is in our products. So we collaborate with influencers and bloggers, and in the future we'd love to extend our range and break into new markets. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Deirdre. That's brilliant to hear. Brilliant to hear how the development of your business has happened over the years.
Thank you.
And we're going to go. We're going to keep with. We're going to head up the coast a little bit to Donegal, and we're going to speak to David Murrin of OGT.
Thanks, Maeve. Okay, can you see that, Maeve?
Yes, you're perfect.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to OGT. My name is David Murrin. I'm the factory manager here up in the factory in the south of Donegal. And today we're going to take you on a bit of a journey to show you the business from the humble beginnings up here with 2 employees to what it is today. We have 35 people working and we're exporting to about 35 countries around the globe. The business was started in the northwest of Ireland along what is now known as the Wild Atlantic Way, and for a very good reason. The very close proximity up here to the clean and pristine waters of the North Atlantic and the wild winter storms ensure that we have some of the cleanest and most nutritious waters in Europe and probably in the world. We initially started making fertilizers for grass turf, golf courses and football pitches. We quickly realized that there was a much bigger market in the crop nutrition and particularly in biostimulation.
Sorry, David, could you move on the slide to your next? Yeah.
Is that it there now? Partnering with Trade Corp in Spain, a market leader in the crop nutrition and plant biostimulation, provided us with the technical expertise and access to global markets. In 2014, we merged with Trade Corp, and in 2019, we became part of the Rovensa Group with a shared vision of feeding the planet through sustainable solutions for agriculture. We harvest all of our material along the Wild Atlantic Way and working in partnership with our harvesters, ensuring that we are managing the resource in a sustainable and environmentally friendly way. We have the same harvesters working with us now for over 18 years. Most of them have now been harvesting seaweed for 30 or 40 years. So their experience and commitment to the future of the industry and its sustainability is without question. These guys are the subject matter experts in this area as far as we're concerned. During the harvesting operations, the harvesters will select an area with abundant seaweed, which has been growing for several years. They cut it by hand and carefully removing the elongated section and leaving behind enough of the plant and the holdfast so that the plant will regenerate itself in a few years. They continually rotate their areas to allow the seaweed a chance to grow back. The seaweed is then collected into bag nets and towed to the nearest collection points where our lorries collect the seaweed and bring it back to our factory here. The harvesting of seaweed has a very long tradition in this area, spanning back for hundreds of years, where local farmers have used the seaweed as a fertilizer on their crops and to feed their animals. Seaweed has been and continues to be of vital importance to the communities in these areas. Here at OGT, we currently employ 35 people in various roles from production through to quality and sales, and are continually expanding and developing this workforce. We are very lucky to have committed people who share our vision and values as a business in helping to support the community in the area with very high unemployment. Seaweed harvesting and production is a vital part of the social and economic structure of the community, and it's critical to its development and sustainability. When this fresh seaweed arrives at the factory, it is quickly sorted and washed before being processed to ensure optimum condition throughout. Through a gentle extraction process, we remove some of the water from the product to generate into a liquid extract, which we call file green. The gentle extraction process uses low temperature to protect and ensure that they retain all the natural elements which are present in our file green formulations. The finished product is organically certified with EcoCert.
David,
our product, keep forgetting that. Our products are then packaged and shipped all over the world, but particularly to areas where climate stress is causing farmers major difficulties. It has a proven track record as a totally organic and natural biostimulant, which helps to plants and crops to overcome the hardships of both heat and cold climate stress. The market for our products continues to grow as the benefits are realized, and we will continue to grow with it. That concludes our presentation. Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much, David. That's brilliant. We'll move on to Henry Lyons from Nutramara next, and I believe Maeve has the slides for those.
Okay, okay, Maeve. On the first slide, I give on the next one, Margaret, please. We have a summary. I thought, being the last speaker, I might be fighting against the clock. I'm also my way to bloom on somebody else's computer. So, in brief, the company was set up in 2017. It's an innovative marine biotechnology company. As you know, life science companies take a long time to become established, and they consume a lot of money along the way too. We have very close links with SeaMeGro, as Allan O'Sullivan explained in detail earlier on. So novel biorefinery process was something we concentrated on from day one, from the laboratory to pilot scale, and we've been in full industrial scale now for the past 2 years. We operate on a green chemistry principle. It's a 100% aqueous process, no organic solvents used at any time. We're also on the zero waste circular model. This is the age of the circular bioeconomy, so we're putting this into practice. We're a member of Origin Green and have our products certified. The applications so far have been in food supplements, cosmetics, hair care, and pet care. We would hope to move on to the pharma grade within a few years' time. So the next slide. These are the 4 main species that we operate on. On the left, Ascophyllum nodosum has been mentioned already, available in abundance off the west coast, about 130,000 tons, available on a sustainable harvesting basis. Laminaria digitata, Fucus vesiculosus, mainly for fuchsidin, and we've used saccharina to a lesser extent in recent times. On the next slide, I will mention some of the components. Well, cellulose is the insoluble part. Alginate was the first. It's a biopolymer hydrocolloid. It has been in production since 1929, since Kelp set up in San Diego. But since then, very few other biopolymers have been extracted on a commercial basis. Now, the next 2, fuchsidin and laminarin, are our main 2. They are both polysaccharides with an enormous amount of research, nearly 1,000 peer-reviewed research papers in the past 15 years. Polyphenols are on our list as well. And of course, Jim O'Toole mentioned proteins, and they're on mannitol, carotenoids, and minerals. But our main emphasis has been on the fuchsidin, laminar, and polyphenols up to now. Next slide will tell you some of the challenges. Anybody thinking of getting into this business, you're up against it, because with a natural raw material, it has variable composition. It can vary geographically and seasonally and so on. The composition then, as I said, it varies from one species to another, the location, season. We're dealing with complex biopolymers. The active ingredients you're looking for can be contained in the cell walls or intracellular sites. The degree of polymerization, short chain, medium, long chain, you have a whole variety there. The fact is often found in combined forms. Glycoprotein is a major problem. The next one, then, the polyphenols are bound to proteins, which causes a lot of problems. And so the final one, the extraction process, may alter the composition of the end product. And that's a tricky one to work out. The next slide, I briefly list the processing used worldwide, trying to get extracts and high-value products from seaweeds. Hydrolysis, look at all the variations we've got there. Micronization was used in France for several years. Also, cryo-crushing was developed in Brittany. Differential pressure cell bursting, South Africa. Enzymes, bioprocessing haven't come into use very much yet. And then you have 2 new emerging technologies, ultrasonics and microwave. We're looking at those in conjunction with the Childress Research Center in Ashtown. Next slide.
Henry?
Yes?
We're coming towards the end of our opportunity. The film will be on very shortly.
Okay. Structured bioactivity is a major challenge facing us and several other companies. Next slide. These are our research partners. It's very important to have research partners, national and international. A lot has happened in recent years, as Jim O'Toole mentioned earlier on, big European projects, very well-funded Irish ones as well. And we're part of that scene and working with several collaborators. And finally, the final slide. These are the products. I think Allan showed some of them earlier on. Food supplements, a very interesting hair care product there. Blue Pet is for pet nutrition. And finally, if anybody wants to contact us, you've got the websites and contact details there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Henry. That was really great. It's a company that I'm following with interest. As with everybody, I hope for our international audience, you can see a little bit of the variety that we have in Ireland of all the different companies. We have long existing ones, we have brand new ones, great creativity on this island, north and south. I was to say lots of many things to wrap up, but I think we have a short film coming up shortly, so I may be cut off or I have to keep it very brief. And but I think from what we can see from the showcase here today, that we are finally developing a very decent critical mass of seaweed businesses in Ireland. We've had them before, but I think really the potential is starting to be realised, which is something that I'm delighting in seeing. So we really do have a great opportunity to make, as Allan was suggesting, a circular economy with this industry, to really take care of our environment and to use it wisely and to use it creatively for the benefit of everybody. So it's a very exciting time, and I think everybody is trying hard to do that in their own way. So if anybody has any questions or any final remarks, I think we're probably coming quite close to the end now. Oh, well,
yeah, just thanks to Moderator for coordinating us all, herding us in like sheep over the last couple of weeks, and having our meeting a couple of weeks ago. And thanks also to BIM and Lucy for her help and assistance also.
And thank you. And if you get a chance, go over and have a look at the Irish clip, which is in the Irish language, interviewing a Connemara harvester and company, Connemara Organic Seaweeds, and visit the Irish booth in the platform. One of us will be around for the next month, and you can contact any of the speakers through us. And we have a lot of different videos, and we have a lot of documents that kind of showcase what we're doing here in Ireland on seaweed. And yeah, thank you very much to all the speakers for giving up their time today and for staying till the end. And yeah, thank you. Thank you, Maeve, as moderator. Appreciate that.
That's brilliant. Does the film start now?
I think that might start on another channel.
Okay, we could have chatted on a bit more. I was expecting. I had a 5-minute left. But I think we'll say
thank you very much and good afternoon.
Thank you.